This is one of the best, if not the best, football boots that you can go out and buy under 200 euros. In fact, it's closer to 150 euros. And on top of that, this is a takedown model. This is the Adidas F50 Messi Pro, the first tier takedown model in the F50 Messi line. And I think it is so good for around that 150 euro mark that you shouldn't buy the Elite. You shouldn't spend the extra money, you should just buy the Pro instead. Firstly, for anybody wondering, why am I wearing two hoodies? Because it's really cold in here, and yes, I'm wearing two hoodies. But to the boots. This is the hybrid touch upper, which you're going to find on the Messi F50 Pro, which, as far as I can tell, is the same hybrid touch upper that you're going to get on the Elite level model. And if there is a difference, that difference is very, very minimal. It is just as soft, it's just as pliable, and if nothing else, it breaks in to be exactly the same. The touch, the feel, the overall upper on this is simply just as good as the Elite level model. And to top it off, in this particular colorway, you have more of this texturing that runs around the boot, which actually means you get a little bit more grip on the ball than you do in, for example, this gold colorway, where it wasn't quite as prevalent. That's a little bit of personal preference, but honestly, I quite like that little bit of extra touch and feel. I just think that this is... I can't believe that an upper this good is just basically out and out replicated on a boot that's 100 euros less. Like, if that's your main concern, is upper, soft upper, really nice, connected, slightly barefoot touch on the ball, little bit of grip, but also feeling kind of nice and elegant through the boot, just buy it. Just go out and buy it right now. Like, I'll leave some links down in the top pinned comment in the description where you can buy it. We'll also be able to become a Boot Wizard member if you'd like, get videos like this before anybody else, as well as some huge grip sock discounts. But back to this amazing upper, I don't really think there's much more I can say. It's really good, it's fantastic on the Elite, and you get it here for significantly less money. Like, you still get the burrito style tongue, which again is exactly the same. Let's loosen up these laces. Serves me right for trying to make it look nice for the video, doesn't it? And you can see you've still got the burrito style tongue, which again looks identical, feels identical. The thickness, the materials, the way it's put together is just the same. So yeah, from an upper point of view, it's pretty impressive. Something I did notice immediately wasn't quite as premium is the outsole here. So this is the Sprint Shell 360 outsole, so you don't get the Sprint frame, and they do feel different. The Sprint frame has a really nice responsiveness, a great spring back, good stability. It is just nicer. This isn't quite as springy or responsive. We've still got good stability, and overall it is pretty good. We can compare it more closely to what you're going to get from the league level model. So this is the Sprint Plate 360, and purely in terms of the materials, I would say that this and this are closer to each other than you would get from the Elite level model. Now, that's not necessarily a problem. I still think that this is a good outsole. It's definitely not too heavy. The stud shape, stud pattern are good and versatile, and you do get a nice amount of stability with a reasonable amount of spring back. So I wouldn't be too upset with this at all. I also think that this is something you could consider for a nice AG pitch, but do be aware that you've got the longer studs here and here, particularly some slightly more aggressive studs through the toe box here. So if you are playing primarily on an AG pitch, I definitely will be looking at the AG MG options rather than going with this in the FG. As I said earlier, the lockdown is very, very similar to what you're going to get from the Elite level model in terms of being secured down into the boot. The heels are slightly different. It is definitely more pinched in the Elite level model, and you do get a better heel hold in here generally. This isn't a disaster, but it is a little bit wider. It's more forgiving, and that might suit some people. There is no external heel counter on this one. You see, what you've got is a faux external heel counter and just the normal internal heel counter instead, which affects the overall build, and it's just not as good or as comfortable as the Elite level model. But remember, we're about €100 cheaper here, and I don't think that this is bad. It's definitely acceptable for a boot at this particular price. The materials through the back are still pretty good. The padding isn't overdone, unlike some other Adidas takedowns, and yeah, it's fine. I'm not going to get too excited about it, but it's not anything that's going to bring my opinion of the boot down, considering the price. This leads us to talk about fit and sizing. Width-wise, again, pretty much the same as the Elite level model, maybe a smidge wider, but you do get a reasonable amount of adjustability because of that burrito style tongue. So if you have a wider midfoot, this could be a good shout for you, although do bear in mind, we do kind of pinch in a little bit around the toe box here, more so than what you get on the Elite. I find, and we can probably, yes, if we put these side by side, try and tilt them like that, there is actually more volume through the toe box right down the end of the Elite level model, which is where we need to come in and talk about the sizing, and I need to give you some information so that you get the perfect fit. So in general, for an Adidas boot, I will start at a US 7.5, UK 7. That tends to fit me the best. It's what I have here in the Elite level model. Boots I have behind me, it's what I would wear in the Nemesis, it's what I wear in the Speed Flow, it's what I would wear in the X16 Plus, the Pure Chaos. All of those boots behind me, I have in a US 7.5, UK 7. However, my feet are kind of in between the 7.5 and the 7 sizing. So while this isn't gospel, the US 7.5 in an Adidas boot is 255 millimeters. My feet are 257 and 259 millimeters, which means that a 255 is pretty close to the end of the boot, which is how I like my boots. These boots, for example, fit me perfectly towards the end. However, because of that reduced pinched toe box that we get on the Pro level model, I actually can't wear the 255, the US 7.5, UK 7. It's just too tight and all my toes are too compressed in this area. So I've actually gone for the US 8, UK 7.5. So you might be asking yourself, why am I giving you all that information rather than just telling you go up half a size? Because knowing my foot shape, how I like to wear my boots, means that you should be able to work out whether in actual fact you need to go up that half a size. So they do have a little bit of room on the end, but it's about the volume and how much it squeezes as to why I cannot wear that normal 255 millimeter boot. I find this happens with a lot of Adidas takedowns where I do end up wearing the US 8, UK 7.5. The Predator Pro being another example, the current Predator Elite being another example. Again, for reference, if you want it in a Nike boot, I would almost always wear a US 8, UK 7, which is 260 millimeters, because the 255 in Nike just doesn't work for me. It's too tight, it's very uncomfortable. If you have questions about sizing, please leave them down in the comments. Hopefully I have given you a massive range of information there that will allow you to make the best possible choice for this boot. I mentioned the Predator Pro there, which I think is a shocking representation of what you can get for 160 euros. And this is quite the opposite. So if you are looking for the best possible takedown model, you want to consider this. However, if fold-over tongues are absolutely your thing on a budget, then you want to check out this video right here as soon as it's available. And I'll also have a Mizuno review of a similar priced boot, which I will link here when it's available.